y'all. I'm coming to y'all with a Dear Steph letter, which this letter right here I can relate to. Okay, so I'm just gonna jump right in because yeah, I already have the answer to this. I really do. So here we go. Dear Steph, she stole my daughter's iPad. Let's get it. A dear family friend and I have daughters the same age, 18. My daughter had a car senior year, and the other girl, daughter 2, would ride home with her daily because of her parents' work schedule. My son lived out of state at the time, so I made space in my son's room for daughter number 2. She was like family. One day, we were all in the driveway at pickup time. The other mom instructed daughter number 2 to go inside my house and retrieve her iPad. She went in alone. I didn't give it much thought to it because we're family. She was there every day. Fast forward. That night, my daughter discovered her iPad was missing. We called the other girl and her mom, thinking it was accidentally taken because they both had the exact same white iPad mini. Both denied daughter number 2 had it. Keep in mind, both girls knew each other's passwords. After a few days, it was evident to us she stole my daughter's iPad because she lost hers. Her mom told me that years ago that the girl was in therapy for stealing and lying, even stealing from her own parents. We assumed she panicked and took my baby's iPad to cover her ass. Without hard proof and many phone calls to my dear friend and her daughter, I let it go and let God handle it. My friend took her daughter's word 100%. A month later, Find My iPad alerted us saying the iPad was turned on. Couldn't find it if it wasn't turned on, and the signal was binging off a tower 1 block from the girl's house. After much prayer and my daughter saying let God handle her, I did. My daughter was more concerned with me losing a great friend over an iPad. My daughter cut all ties with the girl. God dealt with her. After her parents paid $600 for her to take classes online, she still didn't pass and wasn't allowed to graduate with my daughter and her class, among other things that happened to her. This summer, my son moved back home, and in cleaning and rearranging his bedroom furniture, we found my daughter's iPad cover under his bed. Further proof, she took the iPad and hid the cover. I thought I was satisfied with God's method of vengeance, but since we found the iPad cover, I found myself pissed off all over again. I made the decision to let God handle it and save her mother and I friendship. Plus, her dad is a cop, and he'd probably shoot her. Her mom didn't steal from us, she did. I can't bring myself to hang with my friends since then. Should I bring up the situation again, 7 months later? Or should I drink some wine and try to let God handle this? I just want her mom to know what she did and for her to apologize. I love her mom, but this girl can catch fire.
Girl, did you say your friend's daughter can catch fire? Chabu, you will be going to a funeral with your friend if the homegirl caught on fire. Now,
before I answer your question, when I tell you I can relate to what you're saying, it happened to me. This is what happened to me. The summer that I gave birth to Jada, I went in a hospital 7 weeks early. Jada was premature and they put me on bed rest, okay? So they asked me if I wanted to be on bed rest at home or at the hospital. Of course I said at the hospital because at the time my husband worked in Virginia, South Hill, Virginia, and we lived in Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina. So I just thought it would be safer if I was at the hospital. Okay, so with me being at the hospital, what you think happened? All my gadgets and everything that makes Stephanie comfortable ended up at the hospital. Now, there was something that I was very, very, very like into, and it was something that, you know, winded me down, you know, something chill, and it was something as simple as a Game Boy, okay? Game Boy. And my game of choice was Tetris, okay? So, I was in the hospital for 10 days. 10 days before I gave birth to Jada. Which meant all this time I'm in the hospital now, none of my shit went missing. You know, orderlies coming in every day and, you know, doing ultrasounds, blood pressure, you know, checking this, checking that. And my stuff just was out, okay? So, to not incriminate anybody that's affiliated with me, I will choose not to call any names, okay? We just gonna say,
we're gonna call the child Bob.
Okay? So, friends came to visit me while I was at the hospital. Like I said, I was there for 10 days.
10 days. Now, out of them 10 days, none of my shit went missing or nothing. But when Bob came to visit me with the parents and the family,
yeah. All of a sudden, I went to go wanting to play Tetris before I was getting ready to go to bed that night. And guess what? Game Boy was MIA. Missing. Okay? So, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna call Bob's mama, which was a very good friend of mine at the time, okay? I'm gonna call Bob's mama and I'm gonna just ask Bob's mama to ask Bob, did he, you know, mistakenly take it with him? Well, Bob's mom, she asked, he said no. However, and just like your situation where the child had a history of taking things that didn't belong to them, yeah, it was the same history, okay? However, the mom took Bob's word too, 100%.
I'm all for parents having their kids back. But if you know your children is kleptomaniacs and, you know, they have issues with lying and stealing and doing stuff like that, why would you believe them? That's why I'm always telling my children, tell the truth. So when you need me to believe you, I could be ride or die. 100 grand, do you hear me? I could be ride or die for you. But if you have me second guessing you because that's just who you are and how you are, it's kind of hard for me to play the parent that would just believe the child said, you know, I ain't got it. But he was playing with it, okay?
Fast forward, I let it go. I let it go and I let God. And I just said, you know what? I'll get me another one. However, I was pissed off back then. You know, Game Boys was like $150, $200, you know, depending on what kind of model you had. And of course, you know, I had the top of the line shit, okay? And plus, it was my game, Tetris. I can't even find that shit no more now, okay?
I'm stuck with playing Candy Crush. Well,
girl, I'ma just say this. It's been 7 months. And in my situation, I addressed it immediately. I addressed it like when it happened. Like they left, I was looking for it. 3 hours later, I was making a phone call.
Yeah, I was making a phone call.
And I was asking about it. I was told they didn't have it. They asked for a whole week. They went and looked. Okay, I'm gonna just take it for what it's worth and I'm gonna keep it moving. Because it was no reason to end a great friendship over a Game Boy, okay? So all I could do was ask, and if they said no, I had to let it go. In that situation, you already asked. She already told you she didn't have it 100%. So I'm gonna have to say, girl, sip that wine, drink that wine, and just let it go. Let it go. I don't think it's worth it. And I know it is hard, you know, to have to you want to hang around this person, you still want to be around them, but you feel awkward. And, you know, you can feel awkward with the people coming over to your house because not necessarily the parents, but the children, because you don't know if they're going to 5-finger discount you at your own crib, okay? So, after our little incident with the Game Boy going missing, it's just that when we would have them over, not the parents now, that was not our concern.
But it was mainly Bob. And it was mainly the kids. I'm just going to say that. It was mainly the kids. We just put things away. We put things away and, you know, we closed rooms off and we just made sure that we made sure that we always knew where the children were. So, if I got my eyes on you, then I can pay attention to what's going on around me in my house, okay?
And my husband is a stickler for remembering how he left things, where he put things, and child, he will go off. And that's how I am. That's why my children stay in trouble with me now when it comes to being in my damn closet and in my shit, okay? Because I know. So, I know you know. And you know what? You're probably right. She probably did take your iPad, your daughter's iPad. If I had to bet some money on it, Nine times out of 10, that's the route I would go. I bet she did take your baby's iPad. Do you want to lose a friendship over it? No. Like you said, they paid for it in other ways. So we just gonna call it even. You know what I'm saying? Girl, this was funny when I was reading this because I instantly had a flashback of the Game Boy. And yes, that was all back in 2001, but I don't care. I don't care. It was portable and it was mine, okay? And it was the hottest shit out at the time. Tetris.
So, I hope I answered your question. Let it go. You hear me? Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Because it ain't worth it. We too grown for that. Let's just put it out there like that. We too grown for that. And I know you too grown for that. Because I know you, girl. I know you. So, with that being said, anybody else have any Dear Steph questions, please feel free to send them to me at EclecticNista@yahoo.com and I will get back to you ASAP. Okay? Okay. I will talk to you guys in the next Dear Steph letter. Bye.